good width there, and he's just dominating, keeping Citrani behind him when he gets that opportunity. Again, he's in early, and in early again. So the half length here from Citrani not helping him. It's just a bit short, and it's very easy. There's a better length. Very easy for Crown to pick up those half lengths because he just has to take one step. But unable to deal with that sudden little drop from the back of the court from Citrani. So 9-6. Not out of the woods yet, Citrani. George Crown quite capable of winning a couple of points and coming back on terms, but certainly advantage to the Cornell man. Good width. Half court there. Oh. Okay, let given.
9-6.
I think, that was 6 of one and a half dozen the other there in terms of the infringement. Beautiful little two wall there, just getting to the third wall on the last bounce a little early. And again, the hands of Citrani. It is just beautiful to watch. He is able to get in so early but hold so late. The combination putting tremendous pressure on the adrenaline system and understanding of what's going to happen of the opponent. And another little nick there, and he's holding it, and he's just slotted that for a wonderful opening game from Veer Citrani. Despite the initial control of the game and the mistakes from him, control of the game from George Crown, I should say. Wonderful, inspirational deception and magical hands from Big Red's Veer Citrani to take that first game 11-6.
Seconds.
See Mike Way, the Harvard coach, just tracking his player back to the court. Obviously giving him some advice. Be interesting to see if we see much of a change in the game plan. At the moment, Crown maybe just playing at a tempo just beyond his comfort zone, and this is allowing the very, very quick reacting Citrani to get in there and wrong foot him with these holds. I wouldn't be surprised to see a more even tempo from Crown, and it's a very good width and length there. But in fact, the opposite of what I expected. Crown trying to get in there and force the tempo. Ooh, Citrani opening up the shoulders as he hit that shot, closing the racket face. And so we remember the first game where Citrani made 3 or 4 errors and was behind and then had to work to come back. So we'll see if that's the same pattern in this game. Beautiful width there, quality width and length. And again, George Crown, it really is brutal when he's focusing, and it really gives you nothing to hit. And that was an interesting attack there. See, this is so close to being a tin. It's millimeters that we're talking about, but as it happens, it was beautiful. So there's the 2 wall that does so much damage to people's bodies from Veer Citrani. And great hands. It's a great cross-court width there. What a great little snap there from George Crown. Quite remarkable. And again, the same ball twice in a row. Really quality. And this is why you don't want to be dominated with George Crown in front of you, because he really exacts such a price with his quality, width and length. Chatrani's length not as good, although he has this ability to suddenly play. You know, there, you know, Chatrani's length not good, but Crown returning poor length with poor length. He should have really capitalized on that opportunity by increasing the pressure on Chatrani, instead of which he was too tempted into trying to play an attacking shot. I don't think that will be a let.
3-2.
It's just a beautiful piece of hand skill from Chatrani, and he goes up to a 3-2 lead. Very nice width and length there, and then a loose ball, and the hold. Again, if Crown gets behind and he's subjected to these holds, he really struggles with that big body of his to change direction. It's a good snap from Crown also, as a slow ball. That was my tactical assessment, was that there needed to be a mixture of slow and attack from Crown, because oh, spicy! Goodness me, that was very hot spice. And having already seen the firecracker heat of Mohamed Sharaf earlier in the afternoon, to now follow up with the incredibly spicy, hot play of Bir Chatrani, this court's going to melt, I think, if they ended up playing each other in the final. Fantastic width. Look at this slice on this ball, cutting it in, hugging the wall. Just tremendous play. So, really, he is too hot to handle at this point. George Crown's best hope, apart from his very, very good width and length, is help from Bir Chatrani, which he did have earlier, but he really needs a lot more of it. And that beautiful drop shot from Chatrani, just extending the Crown body to the point that he's off balance and unable to control it. 6-2, this is a tremendous second game. Oh, that's going to hit the front wall, and Chatrani very, very good at intercepting, but unfortunately he's intercepted before the front wall there. And you'll have to be careful about that. That's a shrewd play by Crown, because Chatrani does like to move on to the intercept volley when the ball comes down the sidewall, and a bit susceptible to being caught with that cross court. I'm not sure what happened there. That was a miss hit. You could see the ball bounced very strangely after Chatrani hit the sidewall there. Chatrani, perhaps I should be calling him. I think that's the correct pronunciation. That's a loose ball. And oh, but again, the counter-attack so much better than the attack. Crown just not able to deal with the precision and the accuracy and the early intercepts of this inspirational player from Cornell. 7-3. Oh, beautiful hold, but this time Crown wise to it and able to change direction. Lovely little two-wall, and that Crown backhand cross-court deep length to the forehand is a very good shot indeed. And there's the error, and Chatrani holds his finger up and says, no, no, this is not the way. Keep it tight. Wonderful intercept there by Chatrani. He's really got onto that ball so quickly and maintained quality. And Crown, unfortunately, playing faster than his own ability to be ready for Chatrani's next shot. You know, Chatrani is very, very fast, and that's why I advocated for a slowing of the pace down. But at the moment, Crown playing at a rate that's more suitable to Citrani than to himself. And although he's trying to force with pressure, there are times where you have to sap the energy of your opponent by frustrating them rather than trying to overcome them. And again, quality chopped in there, and Crown very frustrated because for all his diligent effort, he is on the wrong end of this train and he's being left behind. Still playing too fast, and you see again how quickly Citrani gets in there, although fortunately for Crown he's able to deal with the counter, but if that shot had been a little bit better, again Crown would be too late to catch it. Whole thing in this game is to never play faster than your own ability to be ready for your opponent's next shot, and it's going to be a stroke. And pressure and time are inversely proportional. So if you increase pressure, you decrease time for yourself, and if you're not fast enough to cope with the decrease in time, then you have to increase time and be patient. That's a great flick from Citrani there. And another great attack at great width and length, and just a little mental lapse again, and Citrani actually pointing up to the very bright lights. I do forgive him for that. They are difficult. The contrast between the lights up top here and the dark areas behind, very difficult to cope with. 6-10, and very important that Crown really holds things together here. And no let given there, and I think, you know, that's a little bit difficult, because if Citrani had decided to hit it behind his legs, he could have done it, probably would have hit Crown. So, the 3-wall nick. Frank Satterthwaite, we still love you. What a beautiful shot from that. Now that's a coach's shot, I gotta say. Old coaches like me hit those 3-wall nicks for a living every day, but it's not really a shot you see very often in high-level squash. But such is the talent of Veer Citrani, he's able to find a nick there with a 3-wall nick. More of a hardball shot, more of an homage to some of the great American players of the past. But here he is, 2-love up, and George Crown has got a problem because he's not limiting Veer Citrani. He's playing at a pace that's too quick for himself and that favours Citrani. So unless we see a wonderful demonstration of slow, frustrating, floating quality down the sidewall, I cannot see a future in this match for George Crown beyond this game. The only exception to that, of course, is if Veer Citrani just has a little mental aberration and ends up playing a lot of tins, which he is wont to do on occasion. But you can see George Crown somewhat slumped in his chair, and you know, the coaching team sort of trying to explain to him what needs to happen. But he needs to get a very good start in this game and not fall behind. Citrani, on the other hand, probably really pepped up by where he is in this game, and wanting to come on and do more of the same, has a very good picture in his mind of what's required. And unless Crown can take him out of that
Citrani leads 2 games
game
to
plan, Crown has got a problem.
love all.
All right, love all. Let's see if there's errors, consistency, a change of pace at all from George Crown. It's a good pick up there. It's going fast again. And it can't all go slow, but there needs to be long rallies and periods during which Crown is in position and balanced. If it goes too quickly, it becomes too chaotic, and Citrani is definitely the king of chaos. It's very good intercept by Crown. That's going to be, it should be a let. Racket was caught behind his leg, but referee perhaps didn't see that. So good start for Crown, which is what he needed. 2-love. And the game plan from Mike Way seems to be attack, pressure, power to the back of the court. We'll see how that works. He is, after all, a very experienced coach, having worked with Jonathan Power, world #1, and Sarah Fitzgerald, another world #1, so he should know his business. It's a beautiful float there. Quality of the width and length from Chatrani not as strong this time. And we are seeing more ball going long for longer. And I would have thought that is a lovely float. And that's what I would recommend for George Crown. Oh, but the quality's just not there. He's got to really keep it as tight can be. You can't give Veer Chatrani freedom, because he can do so much with it. Pick up from a very difficult ball. Chatrani doing a good hold there, but not quite enough length. Very good width and length there. Oh dear, no footwork. And a point given away. So often when the opportunity is given to you, you know, you'll find yourself giving things away. You know, it's the old looking the gift horse in the mouth. Chatrani just a little critical of himself.
3-2.
So, you know, he's got to work with his own angels and demons and make sure that he sticks to the game plan that's been so successful for him. Good width and length there again. A little short, but not made to pay this time. That's short. There's a good lift. And this time it's Crown that gets in there on the attacking short volley. Back into the rally, good reset. And another lovely reset there, very tight. Oh, tightness. Look at that ball right on the sidewall. Almost impossible to do anything with that. And again, Crown's cross court, very, very good. Somehow Chatrani getting out of that. This is a long and debilitating rally. Both players doing good work.
He was clear of the backswing.
Decision was let. Yep, so George Crown just a little fortunate there to get away with that, because he did hit down the middle of the court, but plays in his favor if we see more long rallies at a medium controllable pace. Oh, that's beautiful by Chatrani. And he's then chopped it into the nick. Not happy with the pickup call, but fortunately not dumping it into the tin, so that he's ended up both not with a call he's happy with and losing the point. 3-all. Oh, so quick in on that volley. And how tight is that? Oh my word, that's very interesting stroke call there, because the ball was very tight. I think there was a trailing hand though. I think that's probably why the referee's given that stroke. So Crown just still with his nose in front, 4-3. And that very good backhand cross court that he has. Oh, glorious little, soaked up all the power out of that. And just, you know, that ball was dead. That ball was antimatter by the time it hit the ground. 4-all. So key moments here. If Crown's going to take, there's the unforced error. I was going to say, if Crown's going to take this game, he has to really make sure he keeps it tight here, and a little help from Chatrani, not doing any harm either. And he knows that if he keeps it tight, he's likely to get either an error from Chatrani or the opportunity to play an attacking ball that Chatrani can't get. So that's 2 errors, lots of help. Oh, but that's just too good, just too good. And Crown annoyed with himself. As we have said so many times, you have to serve on the side wall. It's a fundamental thing we teach to the very beginning children, and sometimes top players forget that rule. 5-6. And I'm really a little unsure as to what to advise you here, because where Ciatrani in the past has made errors and sort of fallen apart, he has confounded me the last couple of days by playing some brilliantly accurate rallies and not making the unforced error at times where I thought it was almost guaranteed. Beautiful shot down the sidewall with lots of cut on the back of the ball, carving around that ball.
Ball's down in the front left.
Ball called down, yeah, and this is the thing, this is the lifeline for the Crimson's number 2. Staying alive and hoping for hope from this inspirational player from Cornell. Conversely, Ciatrani's got to be saying to himself, I've still got to play my attacking game because that's who I am, but I've got to make sure that my attacks are part of my game plan and not designed to try and just finish points. It's a beautiful shot. See, I'm quite happy with that, because if you watch as he hits this, he's moving up to cover the next ball, and that means that he's utilized his leg strength to execute the shot, which is why it's been such a good shot. So when he stands still thinking about playing a final shot in a rally, he doesn't use his legs, he loses his balance and puts it in the tin. Oh my goodness, yeah. But he mustn't get despondent with himself. George Crown, 2-point lead here. Really looking like there's a good chance. Oh, but again, that serve is a very decent serve. You couldn't reasonably have expected that kind of quality from it. 7-8, key moment really in this semi-final. Very, very good deception. And just a beautiful ball, feathered in, delicately feathered in. I mean, there's nothing to hit. And Crown was there in time, but, you know, it was like a ghost of a shot. 8-all. There's a miss hit. I don't know how, I have no idea what happened there.
The front center. It was not a clear carry.
And neither player really knowing what happened there, but that might be serendipitous for George Crown. He really wasn't at all in ownership of that rally, but somehow he's come out at 9-8. If he wins this rally, he's got a serious sniff of taking it to a fourth game and possibly a fifth game if he does good work. Ciatrani a little bit off balance a couple of times there. It's a very good ball to the back though. And there's that great George Crown cross court. He does play that well, and perfect width. Ciatrani overstretching a couple of times there, in danger of hitting an error. There's a loose ball. Great pickup. Crown still in this, very much in this. If he wins this point, I think that we're going to a fourth game. And Ciatrani just a couple of times, you know, having negative conversations with himself instead of keeping his mind on the game plan, which is just enough help to keep Crown ahead. But again, I've seen Ciatrani in these situations a couple of times end up with just extraordinary play, so I'm frightened to guess what's going to happen next. Oh, that's a loose ball. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Fantastic hands. I don't know how he managed to pick that out of the air. It's a very good rally. This is the key rally of this game, the end of this game. Beautiful tightness, very, very glued to the wall. Oh, just glorious, glorious. Sold to the man in crimson. Beautiful wrong footing shot.
Hand out.
Still work to do for the big red man, and still an opportunity for the crimson. And there's the wrong footing boast. Very good shot. Great length there. Good float there from Crown. Oh, that's a loose ball. There's an opportunity. Oh, it didn't hit the net. Great lift there by Crown. And Citrani threatening the short ball, but actually going long. Right choice. I don't know how he picked that one up. And that's fantastic work by Crown. Still in it. Both players still alive. Great wrist to get down the wall from Citrani. Tired looking movements. And Crown didn't want any more to do with it. He just didn't want any more to do with it. That's quite extraordinary. And the string must have gone, I'm guessing. But, so how unfortunate for George Crown for a string to go at that particular moment. And that's really deflated the whole exciting atmosphere that we had there. So this is a key moment of who can maintain their concentration and intensity and not get tied up. All tied up, to coin the phrase, at 10-all in this third game, with brilliant comeback play from Veer Citrani, especially that incredible little off-speed deceptive drop volley. Good pickup, slightly overhit, and still anybody's game. This game really is about who's going to play tight and keep it quality and not play loose and not tin it. Well, I know that sounds like the game of squash, but with these two, this really is the crux of the matter. There's a loose ball, but it was high enough. Good cross court there from Citrani, and that's half length, and that's going to be a stroke. That is a stroke, yes, indeed. That was just a thoughtless shot. Didn't think about the consequences of the shot, too much interested in the outcome. So game ball to Crown to take it to a fourth, and it would favour Crown, I think, if it does go to a fourth. Not easy for Citrani to maintain his concentration at this fever pitch. Crown, as I said before, a brutal exponent of rallying squash. And there it is, and you see Citrani's laconic smile there. This may come back to haunt him. He may rue the day. And great work by George Crown from the Crimson to grittily hang on and somehow carve himself a game out of a difficult situation. So I hesitate. Oh, that's just glorious. There's so much going on in that shot. It would take me half an hour to explain it. So I hesitate to predict this next game. Is Citrani going to come out and play the quality to the back of the court, get up early? Was Crown going to come back out with the mixture of paces that has done enough just barely to limit Citrani and give him the opportunity to control the game? The first two games he was utterly not in control. He was a victim. But that game, finally, he really did use that interesting mixture of paces and quality to the back of the court and just stayed alive, didn't get wrong-footed by Citrani so much, except for that moment of absolute genius from Citrani where I don't know anybody who would have got that ball back. But here we go. 1-2, the Crimson versus the Big Red, and everything to play for in this fascinating semi-final confrontation. I'm getting a message from my wife that I need to calm down, but it's very difficult to calm down when you see players of this quality doing quite extraordinary things. But I will attempt to get less excited. I make no guarantees. Here we go, 0-0. Fourth game. Wonderful confrontation between these two giant killers. Quality tightness, and I don't know how Citrani managed to not give a point away there because that was incredible tightness. And there's Crown's brutal, consistent, metronomic length. It's a beautiful shot by Chatrani. As soon as there's just a little angle, he chops it in there. Beautiful mathematics. The geometry of the game. 1-love to Chatrani. That is his Achilles heel. The ratios, unfortunately, often are not favorable between his brilliance and his errors. It's beautifully played as well. And that's a great pickup by Crown. That's out. But that's pressure. Pressure being brought to bear. Lovely return of serve. Perfect width. And, ooh.
Yes, 2-1.
Still 2-1 on the let ball there. Crown was a little lucky to get away with that. I think Chatrani would have done better to play it. He was in the ascendancy. That's a loose ball, and that's a very tight ball indeed. Very difficult to deal with. I don't know. Chatrani would have been very lucky to get that back.
Hand out.
So, neck and neck. And I just feel a little that Crown is sort of down to business, and Chatrani sort of trying to be down to business, but kind of a little vulnerable here. It's great quality. Oh, that's a loose ball. And that time Chatrani deciding to go long, but he didn't really go long or short. It's great width, well straightened. It's a good ball down the sidewall. Good wrong footer, but it's really given Crown the opportunity to play his favourite backhand cross court to length, which he does so well. Ooh, there's a loose ball. It's tight. Almost caught the sidewall nick. And Crown really in difficulty there, but managing to just fight his way out of the trouble. That's a loose-ish ball. Oh dear. And Chatrani just becoming a little bit of a passenger here. He sort of doesn't look in charge of things right now. This is what I was worried about. He's sort of just uncertain and sort of drifting a little bit. And Crown is hungry. He senses an opportunity. Very good width and length, but Crown is really mixing these paces nicely, and it's not giving Chatrani the same opportunity to use his amazing intercept speed. See those lifts from Crown. Crown did all the work right there, and unfortunately made the error. But you see the lifting of the ball, which is what I was recommending before. He's just really taking the sting out of the rallies and sort of stopping Chatrani from being able to catch Crown out of position. And it sounds like that's no let. So yeah, so we're in a period of uncertainty here. Both players just trying to work out what they want to do next.
Hand out. 5-4.
5-4. It's a good ball to a length. And that's beautifully played, just beautiful. Lovely setup there, early racket prep, holding for a long time, but not only holding, but gives him a read of where he needs to be, what shot he wants to play, and funnily enough, peripherally, where his opponent is, because he can pick that up with his peripheral sensitivity. 5-all. This game is just really waiting for somebody to take charge. At the moment, there's no real clear owner of this game. Oh, it's a Beautiful pickup there. Oh, well played, George Crown. He did so well. He's very quick for a big man to come up there, but Citrani not aware of his opponent. Talking about that peripheral sensitivity, he was not using it there, and I just feel as though Citrani is a little bit drifting. He's kind of not absolutely fully focused here. Oh, it's a lucky shot for Crown, which gives him 2 points
7-5.
of daylight. Just sort of feel a wobble coming from Citrani, and George Crown nose to the grindstone. He knows what he wants here, and largely he's delivering. There's that off-pace ball, just gives him time, doesn't allow Citrani to catch him off balance. He's really ruling the roost here, Crown. Really good quality. Back to Citrani with a oh, beautiful blitz. Oh, why are you trying that at that time? I don't know how he fiddled that up. That was a great effort. And oh, tightness from both players. Look at that, one floorboard's width. But still, I feel Citrani wobbling a little bit. And yeah, he's just. There's not enough certainty. He's lost the sort of game plan, the clarity and the game plan of the first two games, and he's going to need some help, I feel, between games if he loses this game from Coach Palmer. He's got to be able to come on with confidence about what he's doing. Meanwhile, George Crown increasingly consolidating his game plan and executing it very, very well. Overhit ball there, but got in very quickly. One thing that might be in Citrani's favour here is that, you know, being an underdog in this game may inspire him and exhort greater effort from him, rather than sort of standing uncertainly and not taking initiative. That's just a beautiful shot. Just a beautiful shot.
7-8.
So yeah, he may have been thrust into the position of the underdog survivor here, which may actually be good for him in this instance. Crown, on the other hand, just has to persevere with his excellence. That's a great pickup. It's another great shot from Crown. Wow. So yeah. Not a time for nervous Nellies, I can tell you. And the body language of Citrani looking doubtful, not really looking confident, but he's just slotted that there. Oh my goodness me, he slotted that. 8-9. So we come to this really dodgy point again that we came to in the last game. Who is going to get the go-ahead game ball point? That's a great pickup from Crown. Oh, he's not going to get to that one. But that was beautifully played by Citrani. Now, does he want it? Is he going to seize it? Or is Crown going to grind him down and force it to a fifth? Edge of your seat stuff, folks. Two wonderful players. Oh my word. My necktie is very tight around my throat. Game ball, George Crown. It's a great hold. He's in charge. Oh, it's a tight ball by Citrani. Oh my God, it's too good a length, and that fantastic cross court from George Crown once again being a problem for Citrani. And so many times that backhand cross court of Crown's has just found the perfect width and length. And so, yes, indeed, we are going to a fifth game. And I feel as though the momentum is with George Crown. He's really found his game plan. You know, I don't want to claim too much credit for this, but I really feel that his pace management has taken away the opportunity of early intercepts from Veer Chatrani and has made Chatrani less confident. He hasn't got anything to bite on. He's having to wait and wait and wait, and he's starting to bite on things he shouldn't bite on. Meanwhile, Crown really has got a game plan in his mind and is executing very well. I mean, obviously he's not clearly the stronger in this instance. Look at the game scores, but he may just have the edge as we go into this vital 5th game for a place in the final of the CSA National Individual Men's Championships.
Seconds.
So what's your prediction, folks? Is George Crown going to be this brutal, disciplined warrior for the Crimson that he so often has been? Or is Veer Chatrani going to re-find his mojo, keep the ball out of the tin, and twist and turn the big man's body around?
Let's go, Veer! Come on, Veer!
As much as I am an absolute Cornell fan, I do feel that George Crown has taken the initiative and he can dominate here, especially early in this 5th game. Unforced errors really doubly dangerous here at the early part of this game, and immediately Chatrani with an unforced error, and that may be indicative of the uncertainty in his mind. Crown, on the other hand, knows his business and is going after it. Width and length, and Chatrani, just the body language is not of somebody who wants to take this by the scruff of the neck. It was in the first 2 games. He clearly knew exactly what to do, but now just the doubt is there. You know, his game dependent on this rapid interception with brilliance on the attacking shots, now being made to wait. But there's a very good length. But I would just like to see that body language more about taking the game to his opponent rather than sliding by. It's a good pickup by Crown. Oh, and another mistake. So this is what I'm concerned about for Chatrani, is that he is playing catch up all the time and he's not taking charge. Nobody came first ever in a race by trying to keep up. You have to take charge. 2-3, that was more wrenching of the big man's body around. I just feel very uncomfortable with the nervousness of the whole situation with this match on both players' behalf. Or no let. I hope it doesn't disintegrate into these conversations with the referee.
Left box. 3-all.
I'm sure the big red supporters are out there exhorting their men to greater and greater efforts and quality. That's the most important thing.
Hand out.
And he's made another error. And he sort of laughed as if he'd won a point there, but it really is, unfortunately, going to drift away from him unless he takes some initiative. And at the moment, he's really doing enough to just keep up. Barely that. As I said, nobody ever won a race by keeping up. And George Crown, what wonderful comeback this is.
6-3.
You know, disciplined application of a game plan when, frankly, he was in no man's land in the first 2 games and didn't know what to do. Obviously, great assistance from his coach, Mike Way. It's not over yet, you know, and I've counted Vietnam out before, but I just am worried about the attitude and the body language and the fearfulness.
Yes, lad. 4-6.
Come on, V. Come on now, V. Come on. Stay there.
He who dares wins. Oh, that's a quality shot from Crown. We haven't seen that all match, and suddenly, look at that, he sees the opportunity.
Hand out.
He who dares wins.
7-4.
Come on, V. Come on, mate. Let's go.
Beautiful width and length, like a metronome. And again, good lord, that was exacting a toll from Chatrani. And it's a beautiful shot there from Chatrani. And great volley there from Crown.
Yes, lad.
Goodness me, this is
7-4.
edgy stuff. Any slight weakness is going to be capitalized on. And oh my goodness, that's a good length. And that's also a good length, very good ball. But it's very cautious stuff now from Chatrani, and too early there, much too early to go short there. You know, and he's just not able to wrench Crown's body around the court enough to create the openings, and he's trying to find openings where there are none. Great credit to George Crown. He's really locked up this court in a way that it didn't look like it was possible for him to understand how to do in the first 2 games. Again, he's gone for that attack that he hasn't gone for the rest of the match. Really feel as though Crown has the center victory. Well, that's a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot, but is it too little too late? 5-8.
5-8.
Chatrani just can't afford errors now. Each error he makes is worth 2 to Crown.
Yes, lad. 5-8.
Tremendous courage needed by both players in this situation to absolutely stick to their game plans. Oh, that's just a tremendous shot from Crown. Again, how many times have we seen that from Crown in the match? That's the first time, I think.
Hand out. 9-5.
Huge credit to him for this management of this match. That's a very tight ball. 6-9, last chance saloon, I would suggest, for
Hand
Vish
out.
Chatrani, and
6-9.
he has to take it rather than hoping that Crown's going to give it to him, because Crown is after blood. That's a good hold. That's a good way to take it. 7-9. Again, he's in the
7-9.
comeback king mode, but he has to maintain quality, and uncertainty will not get it done. Good coverage. He's got to get there. Can't. Oh, he does get there. Oh, that's brilliant by Crown. Brilliant. And again, how fitting that it's his signature backhand cross-court to length that puts him in the driving seat with a match ball to take him to the final
10 to
of the
7,
CSA
match ball.
National Championships. This giant killing number 2 from Harvard's Crimson. Oh, it's too early. Short too early, and that's it. George Crown wins the semi-final against the inspirational Veer Chatrani, who just lost his mojo because George Crown changed the game plan and shut down the Cornell man. And a victory for highly strategic, intelligent play. Chatrani very sad. Clearly a very sad end to his career. Well, not a sad end, because he's done brilliantly to get here, but, you know, disappointed not to get to the final. But really massive credit to George Crown for game plan and execution. Let's let Bill Buckingham talk to him now.
And advancing to the finals here in Philadelphia from Harvard University, George Crown. Congratulations, George. Just a fantastic effort. Down 2 games to love. You exacted a little revenge for your teammate from last night, and you're on to the finals here in Philadelphia.
Yeah, I mean, that was a phenomenal match. Thanks to Veer, that was some of the cleanest squash I've played in college squash, and it's in the semifinals of individuals. That's so awesome. Yeah, I mean, so nice to have my little corner over there, like, you know, down 2 love. Like, I'm hurting in the 5th, and I look back, and that's where I got the energy. So thanks to them, thanks to everyone. That was a great match.
You came into this tournament the number 11 seed. In 3 days, you've taken down the number 1 player from Penn, the number 1 player from Drexel, and now the number 1 player from Cornell. Just a fantastic achievement.
Yeah, I mean, thank you. It's college squash is so deep. You know, it's like playing the number 1 player from Penn first round and beating him is pretty cool, and then, you know, to back it up in the quarters and the semis means a lot. So yeah, super happy to be here. Excited for tomorrow.
Tomorrow night, Mo. You haven't played Mo since the U.S. Junior Open in 2018. Look forward to that match for us.
Yeah, it should be fun. I mean, he's got some insane shots, but I mean, I can get him back sometime, so I'll give him my best. Yeah.
Congratulations, just a great effort. On to the final here in Philadelphia from Harvard, George Crown.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, what a marvelous afternoon of squash here from the Arlen Specter US Squash Center and the CSA National Championships. Just that last match there, the ice in the veins of George Crown as he set about coming back from a 2-love deficit with a game plan in mind and executed it with extraordinary calmness, precision, and tenacity. I mean, he wasn't going to win that match by sitting back. And the first 2 games of inspiration from Veer Chatrani, and then the women's semi-finals. You know, here we are at the College Squash Association Championships, and we've got 3 out of the world's top 100 women competing in these semi-finals. This is the level of play that we have in the CSA today. And not only are we looking at players of the future, but we're looking at players of now. Really the greatest players in the world in some respects. And then finally, I just want to mention the extraordinary display of Mohammad Sharaf. What a wonderful young man he is. Just his Trinity support, just inspiring him. But 3 of the most extraordinary games of squash against a world-class opponent, Ali Hussein, where the fireworks that he produced, rarely seen anywhere. So I hope you've really enjoyed it. Obviously, tomorrow we have the finals of the women's, which will feature world number 18 Siva Subramaniam and world number 39 Simi Chan. And then I know that David Pullman is probably talking now, but to finish off with that incredible match that we're looking forward to between the Iceman George Crown and the Firecracker Mohammed Sharaf. You have to join us tomorrow. There's just so much to look forward to. Thanks a lot. Richard Melman, out.